The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
And it's time to close the week with a song. Coming back to close this week, please welcome back Jamie Alvey.
Hello. It's been so long since I've seen you all.
I know, been a while. You're So Bad is what we're talking about today. It's the fifth and final single from Tom Petty's first solo album, Full Moon Fever. That album also featured, yes, it's not a greatest hits, but it features I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream, Free Fallin', and A Face in the Crowd. The album went on to be 5 times platinum. That's selling over 5 million copies in the US alone. Peaked at number 3 on the Billboard. You're So Bad wound up hitting number 86 on the Hot 100 and number 5 on the mainstream rock tracks. Jamie, I wanted to bring something more familiar with you. And Tom Petty was a suggestion of yours.
Yes.
For that.
I'm pretty well versed in Tom Petty. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
There you go. Had you seen the video for this before?
I had not seen the video for this before, but I was not shocked at how bizarre it wound up being, because with Tom Petty, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, this is going through his like Mad Hatter look phase that he kind of had going on. Like multiple videos feature him with that kind of aesthetic. There's a lot of Tom Petty videos to choose from. He's got a lot of great music videos. But I picked this one for a specific reason coming up here. We'll touch on that in a sec. But this one's directed by Julian Temple, who he did the Breaking the Law video for Judas Priest, which we talked about on this show a couple months back. You can go check out that episode. He's done loads and loads and loads of big music videos for big artists. So I won't retread that here. If you go listen to Judas Priest 1 with me and guest Jim Dietz, I listed off the insane amount of music videos and artists he's worked with. This is notable. It has former SNL cast member Charles Rocket plays the man here. He used to do some Weekend Update stuff back in like the 81 season. I think it was really long ago. But this basically music video for this song, the sister in the lyrics of the song, and a yuppie who's Charles Rocket. We start at their wedding reception, dissolves to 2 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies hauling and resisting husband out of their marital house while he tries to unsuccessfully take as many possessions as he can. It doesn't go well. Just a whole lot of the husband going crazy. And then just a lot of pandemonium in the video as Tom Petty. It's like kind of chill things. He pops up in the background. There's one part where they're in a house that's kind of like got a 2-story loft, but he's in this little perch where a plant would go.
I love that. That's just kind of how I wish my life was, that I would just look up and there's Tom Petty just kind of narrating the guitar, but whatever.
Yeah, so bad. Yeah. It's a pretty cool video. I did like there's one moment where they're using a laser disc for a mirror. Thought that was a nice little touch there for my home media collecting nerdiness.
Bizarre, though. The whole thing it's bizarre.
It is bizarre. It's one that actually, follows the lyrics of the song to a degree.
Yeah.
That's a hit or miss thing with the era. I think early on, a lot of them tried to do that, but I think not every song's going to easily lend it to what it is. But some of them follow it good. Some of them like boringly follow that. This isn't in that category. I think it's wacky and fun. And it just, I don't know what it is with Tom Petty's videos. Like I don't think any of them, some of them were meant to go together. Some of them obviously get done during an album's promotion in a row, but like there's a feel that goes with all his videos that goes through. Like this one, you could kind of feel like, yeah, it's the same as Last Dance with Mary Jane, which is a completely different video than this, but kind of finds itself in there. And there's a lot of there's a certain, like, there's kind of a slight David Lynch quality to some of the way this looks too.
We right back at David Lynch because we did this the last time.
Right. Oh yeah, we did. Oh my gosh. But this one really looks like David Lynch.
It is Lynchian. It is. And you know what? That kind of makes me sad that David Lynch and Tom Petty did not do something together.
That would have been, yeah, he wound up working with Costner. Like,
yeah. I wish that they had, because I feel like it would have just been this beautiful marriage of madness, and we would have been a better world for it.
We might have been, yeah, we'll never know. Yeah, but there's, yeah, the way the camera moves, the kind of way the sets look, just, I don't know, there's kind of, and the way the acting is, just all scream like Wild at Heart, Blue Velvet, Twin Peaks, you know?
Just the casual voyeurism.
Yeah. There's the guy with the blow up doll with the husband in the hotel room, which is kind of funky, which would be like a cutaway in a Lynch movie to like something else going on there. Like, I don't know what this is yet, but when I see this movie like the 8th time and I've popped enough gummies, that's gonna make sense to me. The one thing that I picked this out of the Tom Petty ones because a recent thing, it features Marty, of Marty and Elaine. Can't remember his last name. He's the singer guy at the lounge that she goes to, that comes along with her back to the house. He passed away just a few weeks ago. And Marty and Elaine, you might remember if you've seen the movie Swingers. They are featured in there. They were the house act at the Dresden Room in Los Angeles. It's in Los Feliz. In Los Angeles, you'll know when they go to the Dresden Room in Swingers, they're playing Staying Alive, this little like loungy stand. It's him and Elaine, and they're interesting pair, but they are a staple. It's a shame because when I lived in Los Angeles, like I went to the Dresden Room quite a few times, and Marty Elaine's a attraction. Like that's something like I think people should, well, they can't now, but should have gone to see. They have a great martini called the Blood and Sand. It's a house drink there. But it's a cool place. If you live in Los Angeles and go there enough, you'll find it tends to be a poser hangout. A lot of people that talk about doing stuff that don't do stuff, but they talk about doing stuff film wise, entertainment wise. So the connections made there might not be the best, but it's a cool atmosphere. Not a lot of bars like it anymore. And Marty and Lane's just a staple act there. But yeah, it's sad to see him pass, but it's cool to see him pop up in a Tom Petty video. And they've been in other things, but the main thing you would have known him from probably would have been Swingers. But yeah, but it's cool to see him here. And he gets to go beyond the lounge part, which was shot in the Dresden Room as well, but he gets to go there. So pretty cool. And it also has this thing goes from showing a fine looking established what ends up being broken home to ending up in building a new home, which I think is kind of maybe some sort of message to it with the foundation, the guy with the die yuppie scum shirt hammering nails down. Yeah.
It's all very just Tom Petty. And there's, I mean, with that just visual David Lynch-ness.
Yeah.
Just like this it also just feels like Twin Peaks.
Right.
Like most.
There's a zaniness to the behavior, especially the blonde woman going around, the way she moves and the camera's just like,
oh yeah.
And putting Marty in there, which is like that kind of actor that Lynch would put that doesn't have the experience, but is going to give that slight off-center feeling to the scene that he likes to do, where people is like, it's not like bad acting, it's intentional. It's not a it's a person weird in there to give it a vibe, and I certainly like that.
And they don't make music videos like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me something truly weird. I want, let's bring it back. Let's just bring back the truly weird music video.
And yeah, it's truly weird. And for how quick of, music videos, 3 to 5 minutes, and this one's under 4. And the coolest thing is, like, as tight as you got to be in cutting it and everything, it feels really loose and free, like, which is really weird for a music video. A music video's got to be tight. It's got to be, and it's loose, but in the confines of being the song length, which is quite an interesting feat.
It is. It really is, because again, you don't see any of that anymore. And like, there's just, this just hit me. I was like, I think Cardi B could pull off that level of just abject weirdness.
Right.
And it's like, that's a far cry from being Tom Petty. And I'm like,
that is about the furthest of the other end of the spectrum. But yeah.
But I'm like, that just ability to just, I think, casually pull off that amount of weird and it still just seem casual. Definitely. I think hopeful.
Tom Petty sits here playing the guitar and you're like, yeah, this is where he lives. This is his world. Yeah, this is what it's like. If you went and visited Tom Petty, it fits. Like, that's
how I imagine. And honest to God, that's how I imagine Tom Petty in the afterlife right now.
Right.
It's like if you just kind of got hit on the head too hard, you might just see Tom Petty sitting on that ledge, playing the guitar. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Any one of his songs. He's one of the greats. Is a sad day. That was the year we lost him and Bowie and Prince. Did they all go in that same year, or
I think a
certain amount of time?
It was very close. And I remember the day Tom Petty died very vividly, because they said he was dead. Then he wasn't dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The hospital. And then we sat around for hours waiting to see if Tom Petty was going to live or Tom Petty was going to die. And it was a very bad day. And it was like a few days before my birthday, I think.
Oh, geez.
And I'm just like, this is the worst. This is the worst birthday already. Like, going into October, this is terrible. And he
was the Tanya Roberts of his year. Remember, she died and then she wasn't dead. And then now she's dead, folks. Like,
it was awful. It was awful. And my introduction to Tom Petty is my dad. So he just so happened to be off that day. So it was a bizarre day for the two of us. And we have spent like the past years mourning Tom Petty, and we're still, I think as a family, we're still not done.
There you go. But the thing, when you were someone of Tom Petty, you have found the key to eternal life, because you are still that your songs are still there. You have so much, it's like you gave a gift of you being forever remembered and beloved by people forever, however long this human existence lasts. And we got to be on the planet with him at the same time for a good number of years.
He did. And I'm like, I do regret that I never got to see him live, but I think a lot about my childhood and my father playing his Tom Petty CDs, and just kind of also discovering Stevie Nicks that way too. Stop Dragging My Heart Around, still one of my favorite songs ever, and that was the one that I loved then as a kid. So
gotcha.
Again, thanks, Dad.
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Like, so this was, You're So Bad. There's, like, I was going down, I'm like, I want to talk about this one and this one and this one and this one. And when I saw Marty in the video, I was like, I'm gonna do this one because he just passed away recently. Tom Petty passed away. It's sad. And, there was one little thing I noticed in here. There was a lot of tabloid, like National Enquirer, like the Sun type garbage ads in this too. They were trying to say something about that stuff, but I don't know what it was, but there was a lot of focus on like trash mags.
Between that and like blow up sex dolls, it did have that just weird, again, David Lynch.
It was very Lynchian. Very, 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 very. Cool. Well, I definitely appreciate this talk. Appreciate back on Monday, the Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Always happy to have you on, Jamie, and
I'm always happy to be here.
And I'll be happy to have you back again sometime here, hopefully in the near future. But until that time comes, let people know where they can keep up with you.
Well, I'm always in real life. I'm always all over the place, but online, you can find me at Twitter. My handle is Jamie A. Writes, where I talk about, my writing, horror, my anxiety that day, and my screaming dogs. And you can find me on Instagram, and it's at Jamie Alvey, where I actually share a lot of pictures of said screaming dogs and sometimes my face. And my writing there also. So you can see it anywhere. I'm always pushing that and like forcing it into people's faces like a little kid with a drawing. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon4KUHD. Written work at whysoblue.com. The Brandon Peters Show will return all new next week. But until then, stay phone positive.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.